Hi everybody, thank you for watching. So today's video is going to be a new anti-haul video, and it is going to be my Sephora VIB sale edition. So the Sephora VIB sale is actually already started for the VIB Rouge as I'm filming this video. I hope to get it up as quickly as I can. I did do a Sephora VIB sale recommendations video. I will leave that linked down below. I will do a haul video after I make my purchases. I'm only a VIB, so I have to wait a few more days yet before I can get in on the sale. But I wanted to do one more type of video kind of surrounding the Sephora VIB sale because there's always so much hype around it and everyone is always so excited for it. So I asked my Snapchat what they would want to see most when it came to it, and the most voted on was actually the anti-haul, which I thought was really fun because I really like that you guys enjoy my anti-haul videos and my will I buy videos, and that you guys understand that these are not negative videos in the slightest if you actually watch them. These videos are not negative in any sort of the way. I'm more showing you guys my thought process when it comes to buying makeup and, you know, where I put my money, because we are all so very different. We all have different reasons for wanting to buy something. I also explain, you know, why I'm not buying it, but I also like that so many people are understanding that these videos are to show that we don't have to feel the pressure to buy everything. Especially being a YouTuber, there is so much pressure to have like every single new release and every single new product, and it's just not feasible. So I like being able to show that we don't need to put that type of pressure on ourselves. So I wanted to do the anti-haul because that was the most voted on, and I actually haven't done an anti-haul for a while here yet. I will link my playlist down below. I have a will I buy it / anti-haul playlist. So the Sephora VIB sale, just real quick, if you don't know what it is, it usually happens 2 times a year. Sephora gives a discount for their VIB Rouge, VIB, and sometimes their Beauty Insider members. Basically, to be a VIB Rouge or a VIB member, you have to spend a certain amount of money within the calendar year at Sephora, and then you get certain perks. You get like birthday gifts, and then you can get other perks along with that. But another one of the perks is being able to participate in the sale. Sometimes the beauty insiders are able to. Everybody can be a beauty insider at Sephora if you sign up for their rewards program, which is free. Everybody can be one, but for this sale that's happening in November, beauty insiders do not get any % off. VIB Rouge and VIB members both get 20% off. VIB Rouge gets to shop first, and then about a week or so later, VIB gets to shop. So that's kind of just a very quick rundown of the Sephora VIB sale. It's a really big deal. Everybody gets really excited for it. Again, I'll leave my video link down below for my recommendation sale, and I will also be sharing a haul video once I go in and shop. But why don't we go ahead and hop into what I will not be buying during the Sephora VIB sale. Okay, so obviously all the products that I'm going to talk about can be found at Sephora. I'll leave a link down below. Just because I don't want to buy something doesn't mean you don't want to buy it. Again, we all have different reasons for why we buy the makeup that we buy, why we spend the money the way that we spend it. This is just me personally and what I'm not buying. So I have done a pretty recent will I buy it video, and I cover a lot of the products that people have been asking about if I'm going to buy, because obviously I just recently filmed that video. So that will be linked down below. And again, I also just filmed the recommendations video, and I didn't want to talk about anything that I put in that video, even though that video is not, hey, this is everything I'm buying from the sale, or even, hey, this is my wish list. It's just recommendations, new products, hot items, things to maybe keep in mind when you're doing your shopping. So I didn't want to repeat any of those items because I've already spoke about it in that past video. So actually, when I was putting together this anti-haul, it was kind of harder than I thought it was going to be, because there are some products that I'm still undecided on. Will I buy it? Will I not? Like, I'm not sure yet until I actually get to the sale and start putting things in my cart and adding everything up. There's still some products that I'm kind of back and forth on. So to be able to find these 5 products, it actually took me a little bit longer than I thought it would. But the first one that a lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to get, and the answer is no, is the Natasha Denona Star Palette. So this eyeshadow palette has been pretty hyped up recently. A bunch of the influencers got it sent in a PR package, so we've been seeing a lot of it on Snapchat and Instagram. A lot of YouTube tutorials are coming out with it, and there's just a lot of hype around it. So this is probably the most asked if I was going to purchase it. I will say this is an expensive eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette is $169. Inside you are getting 18 eyeshadows. Now Natasha Denona is known for having very excellent quality eyeshadow palettes. I will say that. A lot of reviews that I have seen, a lot of tutorials I've seen with her palettes are saying, you know, it is very expensive, but the quality is like something that cannot be beat. So this is something that you truly are paying for what you get, which I think is excellent. If you are super, super into eyeshadows and you love collecting eyeshadow palettes and you love like quality top of the line eyeshadows, I think this would be a good palette for you to get, and also to purchase during the VIB sale if you're a Rouge or VIB member, because you're gonna get 20% off. 20% off $169, you know, that's a pretty good deal. But I'm not gonna purchase it. If you guys have watched my videos in the past, I'm not a huge eyeshadow palette person. I have the eyeshadow palettes that I absolutely love, and I'm not saying that I don't purchase eyeshadow palettes ever, but they really have to like call out to me. They really have to speak to me. They really have to make me want it. And the Star palette doesn't do it for me. Yes, the price freaks me out. $169 for an eyeshadow palette, that is very expensive. It just is, and it's so hard. Even you can do all the math and you can break it down, and I know someone did the math in my Will I Buy It video, I think it was, or my anti-haul with the Marc Jacobs palette, that's $100, and they like broke it down and did the math for me. That's fantastic, and I totally get it. I get it, but still, when you're looking at that sticker and it says $169, boom, right there, I'm not taking the time to do the math because math is hard and I prefer not to do that, especially when I'm shopping. So it's hard. But again, at the same time, not a huge eyeshadow palette person, but I will say that this palette looks really, really nice. The swatches have seemed really great, and like I said, Natasha Denona is known for her high quality. So if you've been wanting to purchase this palette, getting it during the VIB sale, if you have that discount, is an amazing time to get it. I haven't seen anything with this palette being limited edition, which is something else that kind of holds me back when I'm gonna buy things. I haven't seen it, not for sure if that's the case or not, but usually it will say something like limited edition or something on the Sephora website. I haven't seen it there, so that is good. Maybe this is something like in the future I would be able to get down the road, but for right now and during the VIB sale, I know this one will not be going in my cart. The next one that I want to talk about is from Becca Cosmetics. It's a new release. It is their Blushed with Light palette. So this is a palette with 3 different blushes in there. It does say that this palette is limited edition. 3 blushes that come with it are Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. Those names are all familiar to me, so I think those are Becca blushes that you can get individually. They're just putting them in this limited edition palette, and the palette is running for $34. One that I was kind of going back and forth on, like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like a terrible price. To get a regular like full-size Becca blush is $32. So to be able to like try out a little sample size of them for $34, I thought that was a good idea. So again, the palette's $34, the regular Becca blush is $32. You know, obviously there is like a size difference. I think they're like a gram bigger, or just over a gram bigger, more product that you're getting in the full-size edition versus the palette. But still, it's not a bad price. Like, if you're a big fan of Becca blushes, I feel like this would be a good opportunity to get 3 and spend $34. You know, you're basically spending what you would pay on a full-size one. So I don't think it's a bad price at all. Mostly the reason why I'm not getting it is because there have been other blush palettes that I have my eye on more and that I want to get more. And for someone who's not like a huge blush person, especially like a blush palette type of person, I'm like, do I need to get multiple blush palettes all at once? Probably not. So that's why I'm stepping away from this one. But I did want to mention this because I have had a few questions if I'm going to get it. But also, again, I don't think it's a bad price, and I think all the blushes inside look really pretty. So if you're considering it for the VIB sale, you know, getting the 20% off is a good time to do it. But for me, since I have my eye on a few other blush palettes, I'm going to skip over this one. So the next one that I want to talk about is one that I'm actually not super familiar with, and it's probably been within like the last 2 days. I've started getting questions on if I'm going to buy it or not, and probably within the last like couple days here as well, as when I've been seeing more like influencers talk about it on like Snapchat and YouTube and that sort of thing. But it is from Ciate London. It's a collaboration with Chloe Morello. So it's the Ciate London Chloe Morello Beauty Haul makeup set. So inside you get a makeup pouch. You are also getting an eyeshadow palette, and then it looks like a lipstick and a mascara as well, and it's all for $49. So I have never purchased anything from Ciate London. It's a pretty newer brand to me. I'm not saying it's a new brand, but it's one that I'm really not super familiar with at all. And to be honest, I'm not hugely familiar with Chloe Morello either. The name is familiar to me, but I'm not super familiar with Chloe either. So this collection just didn't really like jump out at me, and so since I've been seeing it the last couple of days and I've been getting the questions and I've been trying to look at it more and pay attention to it a little bit more, like, Is that something that I think I need to have? But once again, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person who has like makeup speak to them. I can't be the only person, right? I cannot be the only person has makeup speak to them, because there's sometimes where releases come out and it's just boom, like I know it, I need to have it, I can see it, it's looking at me, it's like, Samantha, hello. And then there's other releases that come out and they just, you know, they're looking at someone else, they're not looking at me. And this collection and this collaboration, it's not looking at me. So I'm gonna pass over it. Again, it's only $49. You get an eyeshadow palette. Looks like it has, what, 5, 10, 15 eyeshadow shades in there, and you get a mascara and a lippy as well, and then a makeup bag. So $49 with a 20% discount probably wouldn't be awful, but you know, new brand to me. I've never tried them before, not super familiar with the collaborator. Eyeshadow palette doesn't like super excite me. So I'm gonna skip over this one for now, but let me know if you guys are thinking about picking this one up for yourself. So in preparation for making this video, and you know, just because the VIB sale is coming up in general, I have been watching a lot of, you know, the VIB recommendations videos, like the ones that I've made. I've been watching a lot of other people's as well. It's like the majority of what I've been watching lately. So I'm always curious to hear what other people are recommending and what they think is good to pick up during the sale. And one that I've seen a couple people talk about, this one, it hasn't been like really overwhelming in any of the videos, but a couple people have mentioned it because of the price. A lot of people wait for the VIB sale to purchase like the more high-end, like very luxury products that Sephora carries, because Sephora doesn't typically do any other discounts. So if you want these kind of more high-ticket items, doing it during the sale, if you can wait the 2 times a year to do it, to make your purchases, it's better, because at least you're getting some sort of a discount on those high ticket prices. Now this palette that I'm going to talk about, to me, it isn't like shocking in price. It's from Bys Art, I think it's called, the Bys Art palettes, and they are 12 eyeshadow palettes, and it looks like they have a matte finish and a satin finish, and it's $80. So these I've seen be very popular in the past, and these 12 eyeshadow palettes, there's a lot of different colors to them. Like there is 4 in the matte finish and 5 in the satin finish, and they all kind of have like a different color range inside. So they're $80 a piece, which is expensive. Like, trust me, I'm not up here like, that's not expensive at all. But you know, I just talked about a $169 eyeshadow palette in here. So the $80 doesn't necessarily like completely blow me away, because there, you know, is obviously more expensive palettes out there, but it still is an expensive palette. You know, I'm used to paying the $22 for a Morphe palette. The most I think I've purchased the palette for was like $49 for the Sweet Peach palette from Too Faced. So $80 is expensive, I get it. So it is a good time to purchase it during the sale. That being said, once again, I'm not familiar with the Viseart brand, but I have seen it used a lot, and people seem to really like these shades. They seem to be good quality, once again, kind of like the Natasha Denona ones. They are a good quality, which you would hope so. If you're paying $80 for a palette, I hope that you're getting good quality, because that would really suck if you didn't. But again, I'm not familiar with the brand. I'm not super interested in the eyeshadow palettes. There's other eyeshadow palettes that I would rather purchase during the VIB sale versus something like this, or even like the Ciate London palette. But if you've been curious about the Viseart palettes, because I know when I see a lot of people using them at once, it definitely makes me curious about it. I haven't seen these hyped up as much recently, but I definitely have in the past. So when I saw a couple people mention them in their recommendations video and saying, you know, if you've ever been curious about these, get them during the sale and get a discount, I was like, okay. So that kind of convinced me to go and check them out on Sephora, and I looked them over and I'm like, you know what, I still don't feel like I need it. So it's mostly just one of those things where, again, I don't feel the pull and I don't feel the need to part with $80 for an eyeshadow palette that I'm not super stoked. Alright, and then the last product that I want to talk about is from Urban Decay. It is their Junkie Vice Lipstick Palette. So obviously it is a lipstick palette. It says that it comes with 12 different shades in an accented gunmetal case, and it also does come with a lip brush, and the palette is running for $35. It does also say that this is a limited edition palette. So lipstick palettes, honestly, kind of freak me out. Am I the only one? I don't know. But something about the lipstick being in a palette, I just don't like the thought of that. I don't know what it is. I really couldn't explain why, but I have never been attracted to buying a lipstick palette. Ever. I know there's been lipstick palettes at the drugstore. Never purchased one. I think Becca Cosmetics had a lipstick palette collaboration not too long ago, and I was like, nope. And then I saw the Urban Decay one, and I was like, Nope. Does anyone else feel that way about lipstick palettes? I don't know what it is that throws me off so much about them, but I feel like I would just prefer my lipsticks to be like regular lipsticks. I don't know. It's just weird to me, so obviously that's the biggest reason why I'm not buying it. Maybe someday I will purchase a lipstick palette and be like, what have I been missing? Like, this is insane. This is the most fantastic thing ever. But I'm not going to purchase a lipstick palette anytime soon, so we'll have to wait a little bit to see if my mind has changed on that. I have been watching a few videos because I've seen people getting this in PR. I've seen that people have picked it up for themselves and they're reviewing it, and it looks nice. I mean, I don't feel like the lipsticks were necessarily blowing me away, and I guess I'm confused about lipstick palettes because, like, when I put on a lipstick and then I go out, even if it's just like running errands or something, I still put that lipstick in my purse. So I have it if I need to touch it up. So if you put a lipstick on from a lipstick palette, you have to put the whole lipstick palette in your purse? That seems kind of hard. And I know, I mean, this doesn't look like a giant palette by any means, but it doesn't look like a small tube of lipstick. So I'm very confused about this. I would love to get your guys' opinions as well. Let me know what you think. Have you picked this palette up? Will you? Do you like lipstick palettes? Are you like me and you just don't understand them? Because that's where I'm at right now. But I'm not going to get it. I guess I don't think $35 is terrible for, what is it, 12 lipstick shades? I guess that's not a bad price. And then you add the 20% on top of it. Maybe that's not terrible, but for me, I don't understand it. So I will not be getting the Urban Decay lipstick palette. Alright guys, that is going to be it for my anti-haul video, Sephora VIB Fall Sale Edition. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, hopefully you understood this is not a negative video. It's just me explaining why I'm not purchasing a few of the items during the VIB sale. Again, there was quite a few of the items that I talked about in here that I'm like, hey, this is not a bad deal. If this is your thing, this is up your alley, you like this brand, you like this product, purchasing it during the sale and getting the 20% off if you do have that discount is not a bad idea. Again, I'll leave my video linked down below for the recommendations. Another thing I didn't say in the recommendations video, if you are making purchases for the Sephora VIB sale and you're doing it online, do not forget to use eBates. I always have eBates linked in my description box down below. You just get cash back for shopping online. It's super easy. Everybody should be using it by now, but for some reason, if you're not using it, I will leave it linked down below. Do not forget to use eBates because you're just getting even more of a discount and you're getting cash back right into your PayPal account. So it's fantastic. So I did want to make sure I mentioned that. Those videos will be linked down below. I will be doing my haul video coming up here shortly as well. Thank you so much to my Snapchat for suggesting that I do the anti-haul Sephora VIB edition video. I really appreciate your feedback over there. Also, be sure to check out my latest giveaway video because right now it's getting bigger by the day. So I recently released a book. I'm an author. I put out a holiday novella on November 1st. I have a video about it, and then I have a huge giveaway to go along celebrating the release because it's my first book release in 2 years. 2 years. So I have a really big giveaway going along with it, and if you're not on my Snapchat, I am showing more and more prizes to my Snapchat about every other day, every couple of days or so. You guys are seeing more prizes that are being added to the giveaway and more ways to get bonus entries. So make sure you check out the video. It'll be linked down below, and if you don't have me on Snapchat yet, add me over on Snapchat. I'm just Samantha.March because there are going to be a lot of prizes up for grabs. A lot of prizes. It's crazy. This is probably the biggest giveaway that I've ever done ever, and probably will do for a very long time, but I thought it was a really big deal. I'm an author. This is my career. I'm finally releasing another book. It's time to celebrate, and I want to celebrate with all you guys. But anyways, that will all be linked down below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video and for requesting these anti-hauls and the Will I Buy It's. I really appreciate being able to put out content without necessarily having to be buying everything. So I really appreciate that you guys like these videos and continue to watch them and ask for them. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you real soon in my next one. Bye.